We hope you'll join us on Thursday. If not, we'll see you on the trail. Hello, this is Liz Lawless, your host for Wild West Diversity, and this is episode 54. So today we're going to be catching up with our friend Jose Hernandez of Tinytainment, and Jose was on with us kind of early on in our programming, and so we're going to have him come back on. But before we do that, we're going to do a shameless plug. Yes, we do shameless plugs sometimes. Shameless plug for our new book, Cleo Hearn, Mr. Black Rodeo. This is our new children's book about our founder of the Cowboys of Color Rodeo, 50 years producing rodeos, Cowboys of Color rodeos, and 70 years competing as a calf roper, and first African American to win a calf roping championship at a national rodeo at the Denver National in 1970. And so we have done Cleo's story. You can see our other book behind us here, our African American Western Legends Yesterday. That's our book about the people from the 1800s that you can sometimes hear about here on this show. We talk a lot about some of those historical characters. And if you want to go back and listen to our previous shows, that's on our YouTube channel at Wild West Diversity. Just search Wild West Diversity. Our channel should come up, and you'll have the previous 53 episodes. And in some of those early episodes, we have the narration and we have the stories about some of our folks from the 1800s, like Johanna July and Kathy Williams and Henrietta Foster Williams, as well as some of our Buffalo soldiers, Emmanuel Stantz and Henry Flipper and all of those guys. So Bass Reeves, one of our marshals, talked about him with Sam Allen. So go check those out and see what you got there. We appreciate it so much. Today, I think our man on the ranch, Charles Flores Hearn, is going to be joining us here as well. So Charles is in our new book, in our new children's book. So because he's the great grandson of Cleo Hearn, and so we've got his picture bareback riding there. He's a bareback rider, and you got some competitions coming up, don't you, Charles?
Yes, ma'am. I got a few coming up. Hopefully, one next Saturday, and tomorrow, and the day after that, I'm gonna take it slow. So no rodeos, because I've been going to them every month.
Right? Yeah, pretty much every weekend, right?
Yeah, every weekend in the stockyard.
Fort Worth, over in Fort Worth, have a rodeo every weekend over there. So that's good. And that gives these young guys a chance, and older guys too, a chance to come and compete. So they have the rodeos over there on Friday and Saturday in the stockyards downtown. That's on the north side of town. So if you ever get to Fort Worth, you got to do that. Check out our book, Cleo Hearn, Mr. Black Rodeo. That's on Amazon. We're doing a special deal right now. So the ebook is $2.99. And the paperback is just $9.99. So we're giving a $5 off deal, special deal there for a short time. So go check that out and join us there. And we appreciate that so much. And so today we're going to be talking with our friend Jose Hernandez. And Jose is a friend of Charles. Charles brought him to our attention. There he is.
How's it going?
It's great. So glad to have you here to join us. And
likewise.
I was just saying, your friend Charles over here introduced us, and we got to meet a while back, I guess first of the year, and or last year. I guess it was last year, wasn't it? God.
Yeah.
Time flies, doesn't it? So we wanted to just catch up, Jose, and see what you've been doing. We know you were, when we first talked, you were starting your Tinytainment business. You were doing a lot of birthdays and a lot of celebrations, and like the rodeo came out, you were a big hit at our rodeo, and so we posted those pictures and of you on stilts, and so you're 7 foot tall. Street entertainment. I think everybody enjoyed that. Was that a good time for you as well?
Oh yes, I enjoyed it. I loved every minute of it. But it's been a busy year after that encounter we had at the rodeo on Juneteenth. Our busiest moments were November and December. We were a part of the Dallas Holiday Parade. On the broadcast that they had on the news and on their website. And I think that's one of our busiest seasons so far.
Yeah, it's coming through the holidays. That's great. That's great. Because a lot of people are having celebrations and there are a lot of other things going on, especially
Yep.
now with lights and Fair Park and downtowns and even smaller communities are getting into that and they're doing Christmas tree lightings and like you say, having parades and having people come
Yeah.
out, and enjoy just community activities. So
That's
so that's
right.
great.
Yeah.
So what have you got? What else have you got coming up here in the future? You got a few things going on, or
Yes, right now I am helping manage a circus. It's called Happy Circus. It's a smaller scale.
I was going to ask you if you had anything to do with the circus. I saw some
Yes.
promotion on it recently.
Yeah, we were in Dallas at the Harry Hines Bazaar. We were there for 4 weeks.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
From there, we were going to move to Arlington, but we had some complications with permits with the city.
Yeah.
But on another note, I went to visit one of the circuses, which I used to perform with their horse troupe. It was a Russian horse troupe,
Uh huh. Oh
and
wow.
it just brought back memories from when we were on Ringling. I wish I had photos to. I wish I would have sent you photos so that we
Right.
could upload
Yeah. Well,
them.
you'll have to send us those photos. We'll put them on the
Yeah,
website and we'll put them
and
out.
it was just amazing. I was reminiscing back to when I used to ride, and we also have an event. I believe it's April 15 and 16. It's
Uh
going to
huh.
be a rodeo for charity in the Denton Fairgrounds.
Oh, that's right. Denton has a new place of theirs. That's
Yep.
great. That's great. They've really been doing a lot as far as, promoting Denton and downtown and all of that. I mean, it's always been known for the school,
Yeah.
well, for North Texas, for the university that's there, and a lot of people locally. Again, my dad's a graduate. My brother played on the golf team up there before he
Oh,
transferred to SMU and played golf over there. But yeah, that's great. But I mean, it's just been growing leaps and bounds, and they've been doing a really great job to promote it. So I'm
yeah.
very pleased about that.
Yep.
Well, well, we appreciate that. We hope, like you say, you're going to come out and see us in July over at the Dallas Rodeo again. We'll be back
Yep.
there instead of Juneteenth. We're moving back a little bit into July because Juneteenth is just such a competitive time. A lot of families have cookouts and family get-togethers, and we've just kind of seen a little bit of a decline in audience and stuff just because of that. When there are a lot of other
Right.
rodeos that go on, I mean, there are more rodeos on Juneteenth than there are any other time of year.
I know. Yes, it's all packed.
And so, yeah, the competitors, are kind of slim too, for us. So we thought, well, we just want to move back into July. It's Texas Buffalo Soldier Month here in the state of Texas, July at all the parks. And, we have our Buffalo Soldiers that can come out and we're going to be doing our camp those 5 days before the rodeo. So we'll be taking some seventh and eighth graders through kind of a Western history program where they have to choose a historical character or a situation or a time and write a story about it. So we're going to teach some creative writing and then some, they'll actually maybe either write a song or do a little short video or make a little book or something. So at the
Yeah.
end of the week, they got something to hold in their hand to say, they made this and they might even can sell it, because it may be
Yeah.
clothing, our friend Charles has a great lady that makes all his wonderful, colorful shirts, and so maybe she'll come out and show kids how to make cowboy shirts. We got another fashion designer that's doing us a legacy program for Cleo's 70 and 50 years, and so we'll be rolling that out on his birthday on May the 3rd. The first thing we'll do is a T-shirt with his picture and his favorite saying that said, "God sent me here to be a cowboy." And so we'll be doing that with proceeds coming back, to help support the camp and the rodeo programs, education programs. So hopefully you'll come out for that. We got you on
Yeah.
the calendar for that, and
Yep.
you can share some of your entertainment, mentorship skills and things that people need to know when they're going into business. Because I bet there's a lot of things. What was the hardest thing for you when you first got in the entertainment business or when you first started your own part business?
The hardest thing for me was find dedicated people to the art.
Right. Right.
Because
Yeah.
you could pick anybody to be with you, but then whenever you need that person to be available, if they're not, then it kind of works against you. So finding committed people is a little hard nowadays. But
Yeah.
I will say, I almost forgot. I will say I'm working on a project. It's called Big Top Sundays, and we're gonna pitch it to the Oklahoma Choctaw Casino. I believe they have a theater or a stage in their casino, and we're trying to pitch it to them as well as to the Gaylord Texan, which is where I'm right now.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Fabulous.
So
for sure.
you'll be seeing us around a little more if we do get this contract, and if not, and if anybody that around wants a Big Top Sunday special, it's like a 30-minute show for 4 hours. So every 30 minutes on the hour, we'll have a small show. So
have a small show. Okay.
let us know.
Great. Yeah, well, I think, I'd recommend that you call Louisville, the city of Louisville, because they're really into doing events. They got a great guy over there named Darren, who's in charge of I don't know if it's in economic development or events or whatever, or park and recreation. And then Mesquite, Texas, the downtown Mesquite area is doing they've redone their whole kind of downtown. They've created a farmer's market as well as some other booth areas. And I know they're having entertainment. They'll start April 1st, the first Saturday in April, and run through the summer. And probably till about July or August, it'll get a little bit hot. So I don't know if they do August, but they actually were out there every weekend.
Nice.
With the farmers market. So we'll pass your name with his name. The guy in charge, our assistant of economic development's name is James, and Charles and I actually saw him yesterday. We were having lunch at the barbecue place.
Nice.
In Mesquite, and he sat down behind us, and we went, James. And he went, Liz. I went, when do y'all see y'all start next week in April? And he said, yeah, we're starting up. Call us.
Nice.
And so we'll pass your name along to them as well. But if you happen to be out that way, you might go out one day and just kind of see what's going on.
Yeah, definitely. I'll go check it out when I get a chance.
Yeah, see if it's a place you want to do. But they're, like you say, they're making some commitments to trying to bring people back downtown, and they, they're budgeting some monies for that, which is always helpful. That's we're always grateful when somebody's got a budget instead of having to go find it. But so that's really helpful. And Charles has been out there bareback riding. I didn't tell you that. Tell him a little bit about that, Charles?
Oh yeah, bronc riding in the stockyards, sometimes and stuff. And so they use you in the stockyards. Talk to them too, because they always need some entertainment. And
really?
They love to have a stilt offer.
Yeah, hey, I found a name for the cowboy on stilts. His name is Louis Longlegs or Louis Longhorn. Either way works.
Either one
we might
works.
have to put you in the trunk on our way to Oklahoma City so you can go.
Because I remember last time, Liz, you were asking me what was the name, and I was like, well, I'm going to go with Tiny with my regular stage name, but Louis Longhorn kind of fits more his style.
Right.
I love that name.
I love it. That'll be great. And so, but now you've got, in addition to the juggling and the things that you do, you've got the other team, you got other entertainers that you're using to do different stuff. So tell us a little bit about that so people they know what all you offer.
Yeah, so right now I'm currently waiting for a Lollipop Lira to come in. It's an aerial act, but kind of ground act at the same time. It's like an actual lollipop. It's a stick with a hoop.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll possibly have that at the Denton Rodeo on the 15 and 16. We'll have that, so you get a chance to see that if you come see us. I have silks, I have stilt walkers, I have jugglers, fire breathers. It's slowly been growing, and people have reaching out to me like, hey, I could do this. What do you need? I'm available for dancing. I'm available for this. And I'm like, that would be great. Just let me find the right event, and I'll definitely put you on.
Right. So you're still looking for entertainers or street entertainers of different kinds. So if somebody's got an act or somebody's got something that they do, if you're listening or watching or you hear this on our podcast, be sure to get in touch with Jose. His company's called Tinytainment. But what's your email there? Is that the easiest way to get a hold of you, Jose?
Yes, email or via text message. The phone number is 682-706-4016. And the email would be j.hernandez@tinytainment.com.
Great. Okay, so J.Hernandez, that's Hernandez, right?
Yep.
At tinytainment.com. So, so check Jose out there. If you've got an act that you think would be good for the circus, or for street performing, or for the rodeo, or for birthday celebrations, or parties, or weddings. I mean, I know you do all kinds of things.
Any types of
Quinceañeras,
events.
any kind of event, art festival,
Yep.
anything like that you've got going on, a community festival, fundraisers. I mean, Jose's your man. He's the guy to call and talk to. And like you say, your people are going to be entertained. When Jose came out to the rodeo, he was the hit of the show, and everybody that got to get their picture made with him and look up at him, because he was like really tall, and the babies were like really fascinated. They didn't know what to think. They were
It was a
pretty big
nonstop line for photos.
Yeah, so they were lined out the door there. So hopefully we'll be doing that again in July here on the 29th. So y'all be checking that out, the Dallas Rodeo. If you live up in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma area, the rodeo up there is going to be May 6th at the Oklahoma State Fair Coliseum. I'm assuming that Perry Broadcasting is our people up there that put that rodeo on for us, and we just come in and bring the cowboys and everything. But I'm sure you can get tickets at the Coliseum. If you go to the State Fair Coliseum, they would have tickets there. And I think probably the radio station. So KSVP.com, the radio station there in Oklahoma City, they can tell you how to get tickets, or you can check out the new Black newspaper, or the television show, or any of the radio stations. I'm sure they're going to be starting promoting heavily in a couple of weeks. You know, it's a little bit early right now, but you want to get your tickets ahead of time, because they sell out sometimes, don't they, Charles?
Yeah, they sell out fast. We can sneak Jose there; they'll sell out even more fast.
That's right.
Yeah, I'll be a surprise guest.
Yeah, we were at
You gotta ask him, but I'm sure he'll say yes.
Yeah, we'll chase them down about that. And then we were at the military base, a couple of military bases there, like just outside of Oklahoma City, and we were there one year, and a lady came by our table, and she was like, "I'm so glad y'all are here, because I'm so mad." She said, "I was standing in line to get tickets, and they sold out like 2 people before me. And I didn't get a ticket." So she said, "Now I buy my tickets early."
That's the way to go.
He said, I'm not taking any chances, but I couldn't. I was so mad that year. She said, it was a couple of years before that, and she stood in line. She said, "I stood in that line for an hour, and then I got up there, and they said, 'We're sorry, we just sold out of tickets. We don't have any more tickets.'" So
yeah.
But it's a great time. The rodeos are great fun, and like you say, it's all about entertaining people and helping people just have a good time, especially now, because people worried about so much all the time, and I think if you can just give them a little bit of a smile and put a smile on their face, even for a short time, it's a good thing.
That's right.
So but anyway, so we'll be doing that, and then we'll see what else is going on. We were hoping to do a legacy rodeo, but we just haven't been able to lock down a location. So we may have to do that next year, so we have enough plan ahead of time enough, and chase down sponsors and all that kind of stuff. You know how that is. So we're always doing that that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
So but if you're looking for an entertainer, you have a celebration or something that's coming up, be sure to check out Jose Hernandez at Tinytainment. You can find him at his email. That's j.hernandez@tinytainment.com. And then you also can check him out at his phone number. You want to give us that number again, Jose, just in case?
Yes, it's 682-706-4016. You can text me, you could call me. Either way, I have it on me 24/7.
Right. Well, and that's it. We all do, so it's a shame that we have we don't get away from our phones too much.
Yeah.
When we go to the rodeo or we go to some event, like you're
right.
We got to put our phones
So what is it, 706-7093 or 7906? I think we got an extra number in there, Russ. What's that phone number again, Tiny?
Mine?
Uh-huh.
682-706-4016.
4016. So the last four digits of that phone number, Russ, 4016. Yeah, there you go. 682-706-4016. Perfect. Okay, there we go. Now we're on the screen. So if you're watching this, you can see this here. If you want, you can go back and watch Jose's original interview that we did. I think it's episode 15. So you can check our episodes out. This is episode 54. And so we have a whole bunch of episodes available for you to check out. If you'll go to our YouTube channel, you also can sign up for our newsletter at wildwestdiversity.com and things like that. So, and Charles is going to be on the lookout for you some additional. Got kids in the background. We love kids. It's always fun to have kids. But so Charles will be on the lookout for some of those events. You know, Jose, we'll be on the lookout for some of those events. We appreciate that you took your time out here. We know you're working and you had to jump out and take your break here with us. But we appreciate that so much. We appreciate the update, and we wish you every success. And
thank you.
And we will see you in July, if not before. And we'll be talking to the folks at Mesquite. We'll see who else is around. Forney's doing some stuff. I think they have like an art council that does some events either once a month or on the second Saturday or something like that. So
okay, we'll keep in contact. I'll keep you posted. You keep me posted. We'll stay in contact.
All right. Well, that sounds great. So we appreciate you being here today. This is episode 54 with Jose Hernandez, Tinytainment. If you need a street entertainer, you need jugglers, you need stilt walkers, you need aerialists, he's got it all. And so be sure to get in touch with him at j.hernandez@tinytainment.com, or you can call him at 682-706-4016. So, well, that'll be great. Well, we know you got to slip out, and we appreciate you jumping on with us. And we'll finish up here and talk about some of our upcoming live shows that are coming up after you. And but we'll look forward to seeing you soon.
Of course. Thank you so much, Liz. I appreciate the invite.
Thanks, Jose. Nice to see you. All right. So so glad to catch up with Jose there. He took a break from work. He got called in, and usually he said, I'm always off by 2 and they call me in today. But entertainers, see, the show must go on. We just keep going forward. And so we appreciate you watching today, Wild West Diversity. In the next few weeks, we've got some other folks coming up. We'll be having the Diaz family, like we've talked about, the Diaz family out of New Braunfels, San Antonio kind of area down there. They have a ranch and a place down there, and they got 5 generations. They're the 5th generation Charros. Jerry Diaz, he's a 4th generation Charro. Now his son Nicholas coming along. Nicholas and Charles are good friends. They're about the same age, and so Nicholas is a horse trainer and a performer as well. His mother and dad, Jerry and Stacy, are great equestrian performers, master horseman and woman, and so we'll be glad to have them on. We're going to be talking to Charlie Sampson, who was the first African-American bull riding champion. He won in the 80s, and he beat Donnie Gay, who was the 8-time world champion, and the only time he lost during an 8 or 9 year, 10-year period of time was to Charlie Sampson, the first African-American bull rider. So we're very excited to have Charlie on here. We'll be talking to him shortly. We'll be talking with some other authors. Got another author. We've talked recently with Art Burton, who's a great historian who really wrote some of the first books, Red, Black, and Deadly, about outlaws and marshals and stuff in the Old West, and about African Americans, outlaws. And then he's wrote one of the first books about Buffalo Soldiers, called Blue, I think, because of their blue uniforms. And so check out Art Burton, Burton. He's a great historian and an author of multiple books about, and he also has a great book about Bass Reeves. And so probably a definitive work on Bass Reeves, and they're working on some shows now. So you're going to see more Westerns. We were at the Texas Cowboy Hall of Fame, weren't we, Charles? A couple of weeks ago, and Cleo was inducted, and who was there?
Taylor Sheridan, the creator of Yellowstone in 1883.
Yeah, so Taylor Sheridan was there. He had been inducted a couple of years ago, and he had a friend that was being inducted, and so he was there talking, and he raised a lot of money for the organization, which we're very proud of that, and glad that they had that a couple $100,000 just on one auction item, because they ended up giving away two. For people to come out to the actual ranch and actually be in the last episode of Yellowstone, to be an extra in the movie. So that was a lot of fun. There was a tornado that blew through, and we were at Billy Bob's with the lights flickering. Yeah, the lights were flickering on and off, but same thing there. The show must go on. The show went on, and had a great time with Dave Appleton and Pam Minnick, who Pam's the MC for a lot of the rodeos, and Billy Bob's over there, and her group, and they nominated Cleo for this Texas Hall of Fame, and so we appreciate that so much. And Dave Appleton was a great bareback rider in his day, and him and Cleo were great friends over the years. And I even have a cover of a pro rodeo magazine with Dave bucking on a bucking horse, on the front of it, that Cleo gave me one year. And so we got that in our archives as well. So we'll be doing that. If you've got kids, if you've got grandkids that are 7th or 8th grade and middle school, going into middle school, we're going to be having this camp. So we're looking for about 50 or 60 kids. There will be a cost for that to cover some of our costs, but if you don't have a way to send your kids, we're going to have some scholarships going on. So if people want to sponsor a child for $100, they can do that, and that'll get the child there for a week. We'll be meeting Monday through Friday from about 9 o'clock in the morning till 4 in the afternoon, and so we're going to be teaching these kids creative and critical thinking. They're going to get some social studies, some Western history, which will be some credit for them with their social studies teachers. And hopefully this project is something they can take back to school and say, hey, this is something I did over the summer. And maybe some of them get some credit for that when they go back to school. But so we'll be there. We'll also be at the library conference April 19th, 20th, and 21st. So if you're a librarian, or you're at a school librarian or a public librarian, come see us at booth 2313, because we're going to be there selling our book here behind us, our Western Legends book, and for 7th and 8th graders, and our children's book about African Americans from the 1800s, the blue book here behind me. And then, of course, we'll be selling our new book here about Cleo Hearn, Mr. Black Rodeo. So that book will be on sale, and we'll be there with some other authors. We'll have some other children's book authors, and some fiction authors, and some self-care and self-help authors as well. So come see us there. Charles, anything else? What else is coming up? I guess you're going to be in Oklahoma at the rodeo, and what else?
I'm going
Maybe going to Canton. I think you got Canton coming up, don't you? So that's going to be a big rodeo for you. You're going to go compete over there.
Yeah, right. Their county fair and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. So they got a county fair going on. So that'll be exciting, because there are a lot of things will be coming up. We're so glad the weather's kind of finally getting a little bit nicer here in Texas. We've had cold front up until day before yesterday. It was 30. Today it's 80, but that's how it is in Texas. But it's a good thing, because we can do a lot of outdoor things. We have a lot of festivals that go on. We had a lot of music festivals. We have a lot of art festivals, and food festivals, and wine festivals. And I mean, there's just always something going on in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So we'll be glad for that. And that'll be a good thing for Jose and his Tinytainment company, because somebody's always going to be looking for an entertainer for some party and some event they're having. So we appreciate y'all so much. This has been episode 54 Go back and check our other episodes out and subscribe at our YouTube channel at Wild West Diversity. We're here every Thursday at 5 p.m. And so we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. Hello, this is Liz Lawless, your host for Wild West Diversity, where we tell the rarely and untold stories of multicultural contributions to the settling of the American Wild West. Each Thursday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, we'll be sharing a historical legend and a living legend. Someone from history and someone living that Western lifestyle today, keeping it alive for the future generation. We hope you'll join us on Thursday. If not, we'll see you on the trail.